my screen so we can get started. I am super excited that it is time for our first Get Living webinar of the year. Y'all can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Perfect. So this month is Just Drive January, as I'm sure many of y'all have seen on our social media and on our website. But what I wanted to do for this first month of 2021 for the kickoff of the third year of our Get Living program was to have you guys hear all about it and get sort of the overview of what is to come this year from the students who created the program. So we have almost everyone here. Robert in the middle couldn't join us because of technicality, Wi-Fi technical issues, but we do have Kaylin here. So we lost somebody, but we gained somebody. So I think that I'll have you all introduce yourselves just from left to right. Amitesh, if you don't mind starting and telling everyone just a little bit about you.
Hi, I'm Amitesh. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I got involved with SAD a little bit last year and TextLess a little more as well last year. And it's just been such a great time, doing some activities in the community. It's been kind of tough with COVID, but it's just such a great way to engage with people around the country.
Awesome, thank you. Samantha?
Hi, my name is Samantha Greenfield, and I'm from sunny Florida, not cold. And I'm a sophomore in high school, and this is my first year on the engagement board, and I've been in SAD for 2 years. And I'm my school's SAD president.
Awesome, thank you. And Robert Fields there in the middle, as I said, couldn't join us tonight, but Kaylin, actually, would you mind jumping in and introducing yourself?
Sure. So I'm Kaylin Lowe, and I'm from Indiana. So it's kind of a mixture, cold and hot. Right now it's snowing. But yeah, this is my first year on the engagement board, and I really love it. I've been involved with SAD for 4 years. I've held a couple different officer positions, but I was really looking for something more that I could do, which is why this was great for me.
Fabulous, thank you. And we're so happy that you got to be on. All right, Catherine.
Hi, my name is Catherine. This is my second year on the engagement board. I'm a senior at Walker High School in Walker, Louisiana. I'm also a part of my local parish board as well as the national board. And I always loved TextLess Livermore because it was my first national for real engagement board. So it held like a special part in my heart. So, and it's a great way to also go off some of the resources they provide, especially as SAD and as they integrate as partners. So.
Thank you. And last but certainly not least, we have Maddie.
Hi, my name is Madeline Lee, and I'm from California. This is my first year on the engagement board, and I've been involved in SAD for about 3 years now. And yeah, I'm excited to help further continue spread TextLess Livermore's message and also SAD's mission.
Wonderful, thank you. And so that, including Robert, who's from Pennsylvania, that's our entire engagement board for this year. So I'm really, really excited to bring the majority of the group together to introduce all the hard work they did writing this program. They really did build it up from the bottom top to the top, and we're gonna walk you through every month of the year. And before we do that, I'm actually just gonna stop sharing my screen so that I can spotlight the students as they tell you all about the initiatives that they wrote. So Catherine, why don't you take it away?
So for January, it is Just Drive January. And the reason we picked it was because it's the start of the year and people start to, do their resolutions. And we thought that one of the resolutions should be to 100% focus on just driving. And it helps because you can get involved through like encouraging not only your friends, but your chapter to do the TextLess Live More message of like pledging that you're just going to drive. You're not going to look on your phone. You're not going to be distracted by passengers, but to just drive is to be 100% cautious and a defensive driver when on the road to prevent an accident. And it was just a great initiative that we thought would be a great way to ring in the new year too. So, thank you.
Yeah, so moving on to the next month for February, The initiative is called No Phone February because we want to encourage everyone to create a new habit of eliminating the distraction of having a cell phone or anything that can distract you while you're on the road. And kind of a background of why we created this initiative for this month is each month, thousands of lives are lost or affected as a result of a distracted driver. So we want to strongly encourage for the initiative for this month to put your cell phone or any distractions in an area that's not accessible from the driver's seat in your vehicle. And some ways that you can get your chapter or anyone in your family involved is just creating a space in your car that can't be accessed and where you could put your phone and anything that's a distraction while you're driving.
And for March, we have March Mayhem. And we called it Mayhem because, you know, with high school, it can be kind of crazy of a time. Spring break is at the end of the month, so you got to have a lot of major due dates and like deadlines coming up and tests. So it can be quite a stressful time for high school students and around like, you know, all ages in general. So it's important just to take a little breather and engage with someone you love, you know, take some time to have some mindfulness, you know, maybe 20 minutes a day. It could be meditation. Personally, I love to play piano. It's just my way to like take a breather and calm down, you know. Playing an instrument is just a great way to do that, and, you know, hanging out with friends as well. Maybe try to keep your iPhone like or regular phone usage to 2 hours or under a day, because of course, you know, texting and having the device notifications can always like add a little more stress as well. And also March 3rd this year is the National Day of Unplugging. So be sure to do something mindfulness and unplug a little bit that day.
So for April, we chose Attention April. People may not know this, but April is actually the National Distracted Driving Awareness Month. And so the reason we chose Attention April was because we not only want people to be attentive on the road, but also when they're with their family, because attention is our like most valued asset that we hold, because that's what we use every day, each and every day. And we want people to put down their phones when they're, you know, with their friends or with their family, and not just focus on technology and be digital dependent, but to be digital independent, to maybe look up and see the world around them, and to, you know, grow a certain perspective, and, you know, not just what you see on your phone. And it's different from Just Drive January. I mean, they are similar, but another thing was we really wanted to focus more on, you know, the distracted driving awareness, and for the TextLess Live More message as well.
Hi, again, my name is Samantha, and Kaylin and I did Mindfulness May. And May is like the time for spring cleaning and everything. So Kaylin and I came up with cleaning off all the distractions on your phone, including like apps you use a lot. For me, that would be like TikTok or Instagram. And Mindfulness May has to go into like the Live More part of TextLess Live More, where like you what's the word? You're mindful of yourself, and you just check in with your mental well-being, and spring cleaning your phone or even like around your house can help with that.
Kaylin, do you want to add anything? I'm putting you on the spot here, sorry.
Yeah, I think what she said was good. We try to play on both the TextLess and the Live More part, like she was saying. So not texting, not being on your phone is half the battle, but to actually live out that lifestyle continuously, and not just, you know, one day or 1 week or whatever it is, can really be beneficial. So that's why we chose to play on both sides of that.
And so for the next initiative, June, June is primarily the month of the beginning of summer and the end of a school year. So we're calling it New Jam June. And for this month, we're strongly encouraging you to try something new and get more involved in your community and chapter, just so that you're not so dependent on technology and missing out on opportunities of being active in your community. So some ways you can try new things is like spending more time with those that you love to grow a closer connection with your chapter so you can help recharge for the next school year that's upcoming. And in your chapter, you can have like a summer SAD Zoom camp to encourage new members to join in. Also, you can get to know the members more.
And for July, we did Jubilant July. July is in the heart of the summer. It's just such a great time to go outside, have some fun, enjoy the good weather, and maybe you get a cookout with your family or go for a hike. Do some activities just to get off your device. So the action plan we did for this month was because July is the 7th month of the year. Maybe for 7 days in the month, try to stay off your phone the entire day. Maybe look at it in the morning, but then for the rest of the day, try to go outside, do something fun with your family, and just spend some time with your loved ones.
I also helped Amatesh with Jubilant July, and we also had the idea, since July 4th is a major part of July, we had the idea to only check your phone every 4 hours. And so you could create new memories with your loved ones and to just stay off your phone for as long as you can with still being in touch with people.
And for August, we have No One's Alone August. And that is basically the month when everyone gets back into the groove of the school year. It can be kind of a stressful time. Everyone's, completing their summer homework last minute as usual. And especially for the new kids in school, it's quite a tough time to adjust to the new environment, getting new friends, getting new study groups, etc. It can be kind of hard. So we called it No One's Alone August to make sure that everyone has some partner, so if usually hang out with the friend group, try to branch out your friend group, go to another lunch table at lunch, meet someone new, maybe in class, partner up with someone new you've never talked to before. Just branch out your friend group and, just make sure everyone has someone to work with. It's just an easy way to improve the transition back into school for people who are new.
So Samantha and I also did September, and we named it September Swing, which is pretty similar, kind of plays off of August a little bit when you're getting back into school. So we called it September Swing, and that's kind of when students and others are getting into the swing, into the habit of going to school every day, going to their activities. Life's getting busy again, and it can be easy to slip into a habit and to lose the mindfulness of staying off your phone and being engaged with others. So this month is all about getting organized. I know for me, when I get organized, it just adds to the stress and adds to the daily hardships that come up. So we focus this month around organizing. It can be your laptop, papers within your chapter. You can organize events or stuff like that. Organize your folders on your phone. Get rid of the apps you don't use, the apps you don't need, or the apps that you don't want to have to need. So that can go a bunch of different ways, and it's really up to the participant however they want to do that. So it's a great way to get organized and to get back into the swing of school.
And for October, this is primarily the month where a lot of schools have their homecomings. So this becomes like a critical time to make sure that we're all engaging in the safest behavior so that not only are we ensuring the safety of ourselves, but others as well. So we decided to call this, the initiative for this month, Optimistic October, because we're optimistic that with large events like homecoming, you'll make decisions where you'll make sure that you're not putting the safety or lives of others at risk.
Now we have November. For November, we called it Talk It Out November. When you think of November, you think of Thanksgiving, you might think of pie or turkey, good food. But what's more important, is forming those connections, talking it out with others in this time. This is when you come to the table and, you express your thanks for everything in life. And it's just a good time to talk with people in your family, connect with them. So maybe instead of texting someone during November, give them a call, because texting is kind of superficial. Maybe just try to form those deeper connections through an open conversation. And maybe on Thanksgiving Day, cook with your family, try to stay off the device, just anything to do to, get closer with your family in such a nice time.
And for the last month of the year, December, time of a lot of holidays, we called this month Donate December because it's a great time where we can give back to the community and others. So you can give back in any way that you can, whether it be through donation of clothes, toys, or even just your time volunteering in the community, because the bigger the group, the bigger the impact you can have on your community. So some ideas that we came up with, how you can get involved with your chapter is like hosting a food drive or a toy drive so that everyone can kind of contribute to give back to their community. And for each item that's donated, everyone in the group can commit to unplug together for 1 minute. So this is a great way that we can give back to our community and also practice the GetLiving aspect.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I'm really, really excited about this coming year. I think that this group did a phenomenal job really thinking outside the box with these initiatives. And what I want to share with everyone before we move into the discussion section is that this GetLiving was sort of envisioned in late 2018. We started in 2019. And the idea originally was to sort of start off with a New Year's resolution that you can actually keep. So that's why it changes every month, so that you can sort of start fresh with something new, keep it exciting, keep it interesting. We really wanted to add something to the TextLess Live More programming that was more than just the pledge and more than just the presentation, which are both awesome places to start, but we know that people want to engage in a more meaningful way. So with that in mind, I think that this year's worth of initiatives is our best yet, and I think that this group did such an excellent job. So what I want to do with the student leaders at the helm is, as usual, we will break out into discussion groups. And I want you all sort of to use these questions as a jumping off point. You can think about what your personal GetLiving resolution is for the year. So maybe it's something that you were inspired by, that you heard about today, or it could be something a little different that has to do with texting less and living more. Which monthly initiative are you most excited about? And then together as a group, you can brainstorm some creative ways to participate in monthly initiatives, because of course, we're living in unusual times, and the things that we might ordinarily do to participate and take action together might look a little bit different, at least for the first half of this year. So I'm going to open up breakout rooms. We're going to take one. Okay, let's start with group one. Who would like to represent group one and share a little bit of what you guys talked about?
We were kind of in the middle of discussing something, so I'm just going to throw this out there. But we talked a little bit about how engagement has been difficult with SAD chapters during this time, especially chapters that, or even chapters that in the past have been very active. Members are finding it difficult to get their fellow members to engage. So I was asking our students in our group, did they have success with engagement with the TextLess initiatives last year? And maybe with the familiarity in that, these are very easy initiatives to participate in. So maybe it could be a good jumpstart to the new year to kind of getting their chapters rolling again. So just being familiar with the initiatives or the group in general might get the members more prone to jump back in because it's familiar and it's not something new they're trying.
Yeah, nice. Thank you. Anyone else from group one want to add anything?
I just want to say that I love the initiatives. To Mallory's point, and Amitesh was talking about this as well. It's great to give initiatives that students can do on their own as an individual without having to rely necessarily on, meetings, just because, everyone has different circumstances, so that can be challenging. So it's great to give people tools to be like, hey, these are simple things that you can apply in your day-to-day, month to month, to just advance your mental health and well-being.
Awesome. Yeah, seconded. Nice work on the initiatives, y'all. And I think we really did. We talked a lot about like how to make them work for a rapidly changing world. So I think they turned out great, super flexible. Group 2, who will represent group 2?
So basically, we came up with, because we discussed about like a PAL system for one of our participatory parts. Like, because I remember, like I said in the group, was my junior high would have a club called PALs where they would interact with elementary school students. And we thought even you can do it virtual too if COVID, hopefully not, but if it's still there, to have like a virtual PAL to maybe just talk it out with, kind of like for Talk It Out November, but also have it all year maybe, but because everyone needs to talk it out at some point. And yeah, and how like Red Ribbon Week, it was also a good part of Optimistic October for the optimist side of awareness, not always having to be negative. And then the last thing was also like we liked the virtual race and the, of course, virtual TextLess Live More and Sad camp, which was really fun.
To add on to what Catherine was saying with like having a new buddy, we were also talking about No One's Alone August for all the students to get them involved. Even if it's virtual, there's probably a way we can like do it through social media to get like people from other SAD chapters like talking to each other through maybe a Zoom call or something similar.
Yeah, I love that. And honestly, like, I think the PAL idea, you can take it even further, right? Like just having an accountability partner, like whether that's somebody like in your chapter or even like, you know, connecting with somebody who lives somewhere else in the country and saying like, hey, we're going to commit to do either this month's GetLiving initiative or maybe the whole year or the whole spring, and kind of check in with each other. I think that could be a really cool way, especially if you're not actually meeting with your chapter, to keep building those relationships and have, I know for me, I love an accountability partner when I'm for a resolution, especially. So I love that idea. Thanks, guys. Group 3.
So so I think one of the more interesting and fun ones that we kind of touched on was for question 3 of like brainstorming ways to participate in the initiatives, like getting your family and like friends involved, because we kind of talked about how it's kind of fun to sometimes have a challenge. And I think getting like your SAD chapter involved and like friends that aren't in your chapter, it'll be enjoyable to kind of have something to talk about and to kind of have like a challenge to see how you're doing with like the GetLiving initiatives. And yeah.
Awesome. Anyone else from group 3 want to chime in?
And it was interesting to see, I thought it was interesting. A lot of us were excited about the like the putting down your phone and the screen time part of the initiatives. A lot of us said that then seeing the number on your screen time and being able to track that was like a good motivator, like we were saying, like a challenge. So I think challenging SAD chapters and challenging each other, holding accountability, like you were saying, can be really motivational for a lot of different aspects.
Definitely. Fabulous. Well, those sound like really good conversations. We have about 5 minutes left, so I just wanted to open up the floor. If anyone has questions for the engagement board or for one another, if we want to continue any of those conversations, now is an excellent time.
When is the next GetLiving Live?
That's a great question. I will share with you the screen where it says the next one. It's going to be February 18th. So we're keeping with the 3rd Thursday, which was what it was last year. But I think that, and I guess this is a good question for the room, do we like the later time? I know for West Coast people it's better, but I think, what are thoughts and feelings from you guys? Especially, I mean, I'm seeing a lot. I know this was better. It seemed like this was a better time for a lot of the students, which is great. It's wonderful to see so many EB and SLC people on the call. So if it works for everyone, we'll keep it right around this time, and we'll always solicit your feedback on that. Good question, Samantha. Thank you. Any other questions about anything at all, or comments?
Marie, if I can chime in, I had to
Please.
go chase a problem earlier. One of the students was talking about Thanksgiving. Can they address that again? They were talking about like a donation or something, and I missed that, and I want to hear that again.
Yeah, we were talking about, I think, well, the donation one was Donate December that Maddie was talking about. And then who was talking about Thanksgiving? Was it you, Amitash? I can't remember.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, you guys want to just run through those again quickly?
Sure. Yeah, so Thanksgiving is just basically a time to, connect with your family members, talk around the table about giving thanks to, everything that you had in the year. And basically, we really recommend people to, instead of texting, using your phone and texting or writing out a message, maybe talk, call someone instead of texting, just any way to engage in a vocal conversation and form those connections.
Cool. And then maybe Maddie, could you give the 30-second or 15-second December?
Yeah, so for December, we're kind of focusing on giving back to your community and like donating back. So then some ideas for engaging your chapter would be like to host like a toy drive or like a food can drive, so you can get involved in your community, and it kind of ties back into how you can be more involved and not dependent on a device.
Awesome. Does that answer your question, Sandy? Cool. Any other questions? Wonderful. Well, this has been an excellent group for the first webinar of the year. I want to direct your attention quickly to the chat where Carol, towards the beginning of our session, linked to the GetLiving 2021 PDF file. So if you don't have that already, you can click on that and you'll be able to read all of the details about everything you just heard, as well as a detailed action plan for each month. And I'll actually drop this in the chat too. If you go to textlessliveMore.org/GetLiving, pretty easy, you can see all of the webinars from the past year. They're all on YouTube, so they're available if you want to use those. And then as we move into 2021, these webinars will be made available, as well as some ideas of how to get involved and all of the previous monthly initiatives from 2019 and 2020. If you feel inspired to do a deep dive, and you can sort of arrange a GetLiving charcuterie board if you want, because we really want you to feel like you can get creative, not prescriptive at all. Obviously, you can go month by month if you like, or you can pick and choose. And we're really, really excited to see what you guys come up with and how you take this and run with it. Yeah, wonderful. Any final thoughts from the engagement board? I want to let you guys send us home. I know you're all really eager to talk again.
Marie, you summed it up pretty good, but it was really nice meeting all of you, and it was a great way to start the new year, I think. And I'm looking forward to all the new initiatives.
Hopefully this year's a little bit more sunshiny than last year, if that makes sense.
It certainly does. I hope that we're on the upward trajectory. I think that's a good energy to send out as we end the call. Thank you all so much for attending, and